Vattenfall's got quite a long history in Kent. First with Kentish Flats, which was acquired in 2008, and that was Vattenfall's first project in the UK. And then, of course, we built the world's largest offshore wind farm at the time, which was Thanet in 2010. And now with this Kentish Flats extension, we've completed almost 450 megawatts of projects in the Kent area.
It has been a real journey for me because I've seen the community change over those 4 years. When I first started engaging with the local people, they were really reluctant to have an extension to the existing wind farm. They really didn't understand the significance of having a wind farm and renewable energy. So just through engaging and talking, I really think people have a different opinion now of that. So it's been great to invite the local community and those who have been involved in the project out to sea to celebrate the official inauguration of the Kentish Flats Extension wind farm project.
And what we'd really like to see is for the Kent cluster and the Kent area to stay really at the forefront of the offshore wind industry moving forward. Perhaps we can see further projects and extensions into the future to keep revitalising the industry and ensuring that it doesn't just continue for the next 20 years perhaps, but the next 40, 50 years, and really create a long-term legacy here.
Vattenfall has made a very significant contribution towards the economy, not only of Ramsgate, but throughout Kent. We mustn't forget that it was two Vattenfall engineers who invented the seatbelt, which we see every day. So no, that's given confidence to people all the way around, and so we see it's been a wonderful benefit to the local area.
Just speaking to some of the professionals here today, I know that the windiness conditions are very good down in this part of the country, which can actually make wind technology work. And I'm very pleased that offshore wind is actually growing. As long as the cost can come down to other forms of energy, I think it's got a bright future.
Innovation is extremely important. The scale of technology is changing rapidly. And so we're looking at really year-on-year cost reductions that are quite spectacular. And I see, Kentish Flats extension was a very important part of that process, particularly in the UK industry.
The wind farm development is very important indeed. It's important in terms of job creation, quite clearly, during the construction period. It's important for the local economy in terms of power, and it's important for the ecology of the area as well.
The Crown Estate is the organisation which is responsible for the leasing of the UK seabed, both for offshore wind and for wave and tidal. Vattenfall has played an important part in the growth of offshore wind over the last 10 to 15 years. Sites like Kentish Flats Extension are hugely important to that growth, both for encouraging the reduction of the levelised cost of energy, as well as looking at new technology.
As we dedicate this wind farm, and just to bow our heads in prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for the gifts and talents that you have poured out on those who first perceived the vision of this wind farm.
There's now 45 turbines there operating, and to see something that you've built working so well, so efficiently, it equates to lifting the weight of the Eiffel Tower almost 12 times in just putting out there what we've put out there in just a few months. What we have done will power 35,000 average UK households for the next 20 years.
It was a spectacle offshore. No one knew what a jack-up barge looked like, and a boat with feet, manhandling huge lumps of equipment, building monopiles, putting on the generators and the gearboxes, and the intricate way of putting the blades on. When it came to the flats extension, I think Vattenfall were more worried than everyone else, because they proved the concept of delivery, everything went fine. They've been a very good business partner. They've talked to everyone and anyone all the time about their business.
So working so closely with the local community, it was nice to get everyone together in all the different ways that means, working for, with and alongside the project.
My first ever job with Vattenfall was attending a conference call where there were about 20 different people from different nationalities on the phone, and they were talking about the fishing in Whitstable Harbour, and they were talking about the oyster fishing being a small percentage of that. But what they hadn't really considered is that was the town brand, and the history of the town was based on oysters. So you have to respect the beliefs and the tradition of the town. And what was fantastic about Vattenfall is they really respected that.
We work pretty closely with the local fishermen to ensure that they're able to continue their work. Of course, they're interested in sustaining the population of the habitats that are in the area. We made some innovations, such as the concrete mattressing, which we used on the cable crossings, which helped them in their work.
To start with, very apprehensive because we have the indigenous native oyster species, which go back over 2,000 years in the area. We didn't know whether he's going to destroy it, but we found out we're working with the wind farm worked with us all the steps along the way, that they're thriving, they're flourishing, and they're still fit for human consumption.
I've been a fisherman on the harbour here for 70 years. I've seen a lot of changes on the harbour here from what it used to be. The fishing industry, when I went to sea, everything used to be pulled out by hand, I used to, but today they all got all the machinery on their decks of their boats, which is easy for them to do these days. It was hard work in them days. All the changes on the harbour is the wind farm is the biggest change on the harbour off Whitstable. I think the fishermen was a bit wary what was going to happen there, but I think they've all settled down now and everything's going well. So I think the wind farm is good on the harbour. There's no trouble with the fishermen. They can work either inside or outside or all over the place. I have none of the fishermen complain about the wind farm at all on the harbour.
The Kentish Flats Extension project is very close to shore, and it spans 2 towns. So there is a visual impact.
It's great to be able to tap into what is already a coastal environment, other marine users, the shipping, the leisure facilities, the coast, the views. I think we've managed to construct something which ties in very well with all of that.
I've done quite a lot of work with schools and local groups. For the last 3 years we've been working on an environmental project called the Coast Explorer, and that is actually working with several schools from around Kent.
Renewable energy, I'm a big fan.
We expand the minds of children. They aspire to different roles within our industry, environmental roles, construction roles, engineering roles. We just open up a whole new world to them that they didn't really know existed.
Those clips definitely clip onto that. Oh yeah!
I really had fun when we were at the project, and I've learned really the importance of wind farms, and in future, after our beach session, I think I'm going to start cleaning up the beaches.
I just thought they just powered electricity, but there's a lot more behind it, like how they work and what they do, and it's been well, just amazing.
The young people, I think, are very excited indeed. And the fact that we've got company representatives that can go into schools, into primary schools particularly, and in foods, and demonstrate with little models and with personal experience how this works, how it can be made to work better, and how today's young people can become the engineers of tomorrow.